Good morning, Thursday the 10th. Had to make a decision which one of these to wear today. I think it's gonna be the hottest day ever. So, I'm hoping that it's gonna be so hot, those bees will be buzzing around saying, I wonder if there's any shade around here. I wonder if Johnny's put in that new hive yet. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't, but me, the eternal optimist, I already think that I'm going to get up to the top car park. There's going to be a swarm of bees around my new hive. So once again, thank you, Kay. Thanks, Jess. Thanks for starting us off on this journey. So it's quite strange to see. Andy, he'll be fast asleep. He's going to regret coming out on that slip because I'll be waking him up. Morning! There's just no hiding. Right, let's turn the camera around. So we'll have a chat with him about what's going on. What's going on with his hull, which would be a good time to have a discussion about blacking and different options. We can talk it through. I think one day, when I get into this, being able to do videos on topics, I will talk about blacking and what your options are. I know I've touched upon it as boats have come out. I didn't realise how much I'd exposed it, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think badgers are not our friends. I think badgers, Paddington bear, Pooh bear, and I think there's a honey-eating something or other. I don't really know where they go in. I'm definitely not wearing the correct beekeeping footwear. All these nettles. I still need to find out a little bit more about how it works. Great spot. It's quite a still day today. Like the bonfire. In fact, I will light the bonfire. I might do it shortly. I know, yeah, I'm not sure about smoke and bees, but it's growing, the bonfire's growing, so it needs to be lit. So, get rid of that. Bonfires are very satisfying. So, just giving the Shetland some ongoing love, so jockey wheel about 35mm. Inch and a half, 37mm, and transom. So if you were going on there, so 500mm to the top of the transom. But we could put another plate on here. So I'm on my way back to FOXTON again. Seems like every day now I've been going, just various things, but you can't really grumble, it's beautiful. I was just thinking how lucky we are to have it on our doorstep.
Leicester's biggest tourist attraction, as I said. But the reason to go is I believe that a hire boat got caught on the CILL a couple of nights ago, and what with them Lady Sienna also getting caught on the CILL, it is worrying, because supposedly this other hire boat got caught on the CILL, tipped down, and then got filled with 1.5 feet of water. Well, that's going to pretty much destroy any boat, you know, the interior. And even if it dries out, you know, once all your bearings have got wet under your floor, and I just think it's never really going to be right again, you know, and it smells, it gets damp. So, yeah, and I don't know how you'd stand with insurance. I don't know how you'd stand with the hirers. Certainly when hirers have made any mistake, you know, the fact is no one wants to get caught on the CILL. But so but sometimes, for example, if they've left a trailing rope and it's got caught, which they're told strictly not to do, and it gets caught around the propeller and rips the engine off its mounts or rips the gearbox off, then it's clearly their fault. But even in those situations, we don't charge the customer. And also, even with the lock situation, nobody wanted, you know, Lady Sienna to get the rudder caught. No one wanted this other hire boat the other day to get caught on the CILL. Nobody wanted it to happen, but it did happen. So, potentially they closed the flight for one of our boats going through, but that's just a minor problem. You know, it wasn't time critical. But I'm just going to have a chat to them and see, really, is there anything that I could tell our customers? You know, they are instructed to go and watch the videos, the CRT videos. I do mention it, although I'll certainly be mentioning it more now. We tend to think that that's another great thing about hiring from us and leaving our wharf. The first thing they get through the first locks they come to is FOXTON or Watford, unless they're going up to Welford, but generally they go to FOXTON or south to Watford, and then they're all manned locks, so they're given instructions, and you would hope that the lock keepers are telling them to keep away from the CILL. And the other, the rumour mill on the canal seems to be that the guy that was at the helm of the boat that got caught on the CILL was flying a drone. And to be honest, I don't think that puts the onus more back on the hirer. I think it puts the onus more back on the lock keepers, because surely you're going to say to them, hey, hang on a minute, pal, you need to concentrate. Because you do have to concentrate. You know, no locks are the same. You have to keep your position. I say to people, look at a point on the wall and make sure you keep the boat. So you're always going backwards and forwards to keep the boat in the correct position in the lock. So if someone was flying a drone, I mean, I'm flabbergasted. But we'll go and see. But as I said, it's really isn't the blame game. But together, is there anything I can do and I can say to my hirers? Is there any CRT videos that I can make sure they've watched? Ours are all given handover videos. They're told various aspects of the boats, you know, where to fill up with water and electric stuff. So could we also put in something about the CILL? You know, watch out for the CILL. But anyways, it's always nice to go and see them at FOXTON, and I shall tell you how I get on, and I'll do a little bit of footage of the beautiful locks. Oh, that's a relief. Precious gem going up. Lacquer's over there.
Just on the way out, meeting wasn't a great success because Helen wasn't there, and Ben, I'll call Ben later. But I had a good chat with the volunteers. But more importantly, look at these babies. So you all know about Hope Against Cancer and how much I support them. And I had this dream of owning 10 paddleboards and then letting people come and use them to raise money for Hope Against Cancer. And at the time, everyone poo-pooed it. Oh, insurance, health and safety. And now I've met these fantastic guys who are doing just this. So I'm going to try and hook them up with Hope. I'm sure Barbara will be watching this, but we can hook you up with these guys and people can raise money safely. And on a day like today, it'll be nice and cold. Brilliant.
So not very conclusive. Volunteers were brilliant. You know, there was very experienced volunteers there, the lock keepers. So they were a bit, none of them were there. They did admit that when they were caught on the sill, someone should have dropped the white paddle, because then that stops the whole process. Because obviously, once it's caught, you do have that time to just drop that paddle and stop the water going out, so it can't tip over anymore. I've just spoken to one of the managers at FOXTON, and he said that, as far as he is aware, the guy had too much to drink and he was flying a drone. So I said, well, I'm not being funny. More importantly, they should be told to pack it in and concentrate. So, and it was a hire boat. Right, I better leave the phone there because hands free.
I've just seen a wasp outside struggling in the heat. So I thought I know if there's any beekeepers out there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this with water. Just look at this bling bling. So I don't know what that is on the roof. But I put that water and honey here. I'm going to smell this. I don't know, but Kay knows what she's doing. Bzz, 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 bzz. I know we don't do the whack whack here, but bzz, 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 bzz. Oh, they're coming. Bzz, 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 bzz. I think I'm probably going to have to work on my bee calling technique. Bzz, 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 bzz. Oh, there's a big buzzard there now. Bzz, 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 bzz. Oh my God, I cannot believe it's flown to catch me. And I didn't have it on. Let me turn round. Let me turn around and go back and feed them. Hey guys. Ah. Wow. 7 swans are swimming. Should we get you guys some food? Come on. Come on. Let's bring you down here. Good morning. Friday the 11th of July. We're in the middle of a heat wave. So it's one of those things, you know, people who hire boats, oh, I hope the weather's nice, you know. It's probably too nice. Luckily, the boats are quite cool. Especially Lady Sienna, all being portholes. You can put the bungs in, stay inside. You can scoop up a load of cold air from the tunnels. Look at this sunshine there. Should have put some sun cream on. Yeah, scoop up the air from the tunnels, keep the cool air in. Yeah, so we've not been so busy. Andy's working on his boat and Ivan's hiding from the sun or the heat. So yeah, and pretty much I've been a bit naughty about that as well. I've been sort of going from the air-conditioned office to the air-conditioned bus. But let's flip the camera around I love that view of the canal. Jez is popping in today, so he'll be pleased that I've managed to keep his flowers alive for now. So that'll be one of the first jobs. Yeah, even on the security camera, that particular view is just beautiful. Little Otter was back early, lovely couple. And even the lockkeeper said, oh, what a lovely couple on Little Otter. So the dog wasn't so sociable, but he can't have everything. I think he's just not very fond of people. So they're back, so that means we can get a head start on that. I did briefly take her out last night, and there's a couple of niggly things. I felt like there's a little bit of could be gearbox chatter, or it could, yeah, gearbox chatter, which we're hoping it's not. And also, I'm not sure that the float switch is working on the bilge pump, so I will be having a look at that. And also the dripless boot there, the lip shaft seal. I've got a spare one, so I'll probably replace it. If we can do it in the water and if we've got time today. If not, it'll be on my list of things to do and something that I monitor. So I jet washed the wharf last night, but my geese have been back. Funny enough, when I took Little Otter out just to see if there was any issues, and I like to do it every now and again when I get a chance. So I only took her out briefly under the bridge and just down towards the weir. And that whole flock of geese came, they took off and they flew behind me and landed just behind the boat, obviously looking for some of their Kellogg's cornflakes. But it would have been amazing footage that, so I'm going to try and replicate that again, because, yeah, just that you guys could see it was a magnificent sight. So, right, let's go and have a quick look at Andy's boat, see what he's been getting on with. I think Tristy managed to get a whole layer of paint on the boat yesterday. Andy managed to help Andy a little bit. Oh yeah, looking good. I think there's more paint. That's good. Quite warm in here. Well, it's warming up. I feel like that's heating. It's creeping up a little bit. Look at that upstand there. And we've got the other end where it traps the water. I think he's got all the water tank done. So Andy's boat has been a work in progress. He's been working with a big prop. He's been working with a paint company, and they're just trying different methods here. So this is a work in progress. I think next week I'm going to be doing a video about blacking and 2-pack, and just a couple of things about blacking, just for people's information. And I'll have a chat with Andy and we'll see what's going on here, what he thinks, what sort of paints we're experimenting with. But it is an experiment, so, and we've got the luxury that Andy can come out every 6 months so we can see how we're getting on. Who'd have thought it? Yesterday I was in the car on the way to FOXTON, and it turns out it was National Don't Tread on a Bee Day, as in bee day. But so I've got some appropriate footwear so the bees can see me coming. I know it was yesterday, and you Google it that would have been the 10th of July, was National Don't Tread on a Bee Day. So let's go and see what is happening here. So let's inspect the hive. My mum had a little go at me last night saying I'd put up a video of me doing a backflip, and she said, "Oh darling, be careful, you know, you're 58 years old, you shouldn't be doing that." I said, "Well mum, it was a few years ago and I just put it up for a bit of fun on my channel." But she said, "Well look, it's not just that, you know, you've not been wearing the proper safety shoes, you're wearing flip-flops around the yard when people are working with metal and welding. You know, it's dangerous." And so then now you get involved with bees, and you know, bees are dangerous, this thing. And so mum, this one's for you. I'm gonna be wearing proper boots when I'm walking in here, and I have invested in a bee suit so that I don't get stung. And I'm also going to invest in one of those smoke things. I think it makes the bees drowsy, so I don't need to light the bonfire. But yeah, I'm taking the safety very, very seriously, mum, so don't worry about it. Right, on that note, let me go and have a look, because I do think there's some bee activity in the hive. I think what I need to be doing, there's a dance that bees do. I've definitely seen this on David Attenborough, and they like go around in circles, and all the other bees see them. And because I've got my bee suit, even the short-sighted bees should be able to see me from up there if I'm doing that. I'm not sure they go so much to go that way, you know. I've got to learn it. But I'm gonna have to get up early in the morning to do it, because I don't want the moorers coming up here and laughing at me in the morning. They'll all be hiding in the bushes laughing at me doing my bee dance. This will be a private thing between us guys, okay? Look at that. Are they bees or wasps? Oh, actually, they might be wasps. They're dipping their bums in it. Is that how they drink? Morning. Get some of that as well. That's it. That's the proper stuff as well, guys. Quack snacks. So we do. I love the geese, and I hope they're not watching this and say, you know, me slagging them off. But they do produce a lot of goose poo. So we're out on Little Otter. Our friends from Germany. So we're just doing a quick training, but really they didn't need it. They're very, very competent. And the Little Otter's holding the German flag, and they're going to have a fantastic time. It's one of those rare occasions in England when the thing is to dodge the heat. So yeah, no jumping in the canal. Just going to do a little video. Very good. Just for our Wharf diary, just our friends, actually old friends of ours have turned up in our friend's boat. So we're just going to do them a quick pump out. Splash and dash, they call it in Formula One. We call it a pump and dump. There we go.
Thank you very much.
How we doing? Good, good. Nice and cool in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Nikki's on the telly. The lovely Paddington Bear. Hiya, you alright?
You alright?
Good.
Paddington's about to say hi.
She was here for a long, long time. And we still miss her.
Come back.
Yeah. Oh, I like your hat. I might have got a bit of hat envy.